Good morning, everyone. A good Tavach, Shavua Tov. We are continuing here in the words of the Chavetz Chaim in the Sefer HaMitzvos HaKatzar, speaking about Mitzvah 72, Teichacha, giving rebuke to a fellow Jew. And he says, Va'afilu de'ar rishon, even according to the first opinion, that you have an obligation to rebuke. Dafka k'sha'oiver b'yisur deraisa. That's really only when the person has transgressed a commandment that is on a deraisa, on a Torah level. And you, the rebuker, have to determine that by rebuking this fellow over here, it's going to help him in the future to control himself. That he will not further commit such a Torah prohibited crime. Even a younger person, legadol, to an older person, you still have an obligation to give him rebuke, which means perhaps, or not even just younger and older. Let's say you have a Rosh Hashiva who is known to be a great and a big person. He does something wrong. One of his balabatim, who of course cares about the honor of this Rosh Hashiva. Now he's not as big a Talmud Chacham himself. He's also supposed to come and give rebuke to such a person to may help him get better. The kol shebiyado limchais. Anyone who has the ability to rebuke another Jew for what they've done wrong, and he doesn't give the rebuke that is supposed to be, who nitpas ba'avaynai, he will fall victim to the guilt of this sin as well. Meaning, if I see my fellow Jew commit a crime, do an aveira, and I have the ability, and I know that he will probably listen to me, and I could say it in the right way to go and rebuke him, and I don't, says the Chavetz Chaim, you will bear the burden of that sin as well, because you did not try to correct him and get him away from there. Mitzvah, even though there is a mitzvah to rebuke another person, you can't embarrass them. You can't shame them as a result. And therefore a person has to be extremely careful how you give rebuke, where you give rebuke. If you're in front of somebody, it should be done in a private manner. It should be done in a way that you don't put this person down and destroy him and criticize him. It should be done, as we mentioned last week, you're trying to build him up. If you shame the person and embarrass the person, what did you accomplish? And the person who's being rebuked has a mitzvah to accept the rebuke that he's receiving, and he should actually love the one that is rebuking him. This person is doing me the greatest kindness. He wants me to become a better person. He's been watching me. He sees that I'm straying. And as a result of that, he knows that I could become better. So I can't be upset with this person. I have to thank him profusely for helping me to become a better person. Isa bechazal, as is brought in the Gemara, the afil al isa derabban, even on a rabbinical prohibition, im oiva b'mezid, if a person transgressed knowingly, motor lemikri avaryana, you're allowed to call such a person a transgressor. And therefore, even if it will come to mitzvahs derabbanan, rabbinical prohibitions and the like, you should certainly give the guy rebuke if you could do it in the right way. Again, the Chazon Ish, I believe, says that in our generation, hard-pressed to find a person who can give rebuke in the right way, where you're not going to end up embarrassing, hurting a person, making them defensive. But if you can do it with ava, with love, if you can shower them with the warmth that you're just concerned about them and their ruchnius and their avodas Hashem, then you have a mitzvah to machiach, to rebuke a person, and you're saving them from being a sinner. This is a mitzvah that applies everywhere all the time, for men and for women. I'll leave you with one story. Many years ago when I was learning in Kollel, we were learning the laws of Nida, to become certified as Rabbanim, to get our smicha. And in the afternoon we were learning Masechta Nida. That's one of the things that we did as well. The tractate of Nida. And there was a friend of mine, was a good guy, Baruch Hashem, he was bright, he was learning well, but he got into a habit where there was one guy in the Beis Midrash that used to come over almost every single day and schmooze the guy out for like an hour or so. And they would schmooze about all different things, nothing at all to do with the learning that we were in. And they would laugh, they would talk, they would schmooze, and by the time that hour was over, his mind was already someplace else, and he was barely learning Masechta Nida. And I watched this go on 1 day, 2 days, weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, and I realized that if he doesn't stop schmoozing with this person, he's never going to finish this tractate this year, and it'll be a waste of a year. So I went over to him one day, and I said in a very tender and peaceful way, I told him, Ploni, you're such a chosh of a guy. You're such a ben Torah. To watch you learn it's incredible to watch you learn. I said, but I notice that you let this fellow come over every day and he schmoozes you up a conversation for over an hour almost every single day. And you're not learning and you're not moving forward. And at the end of the year, when everybody's making a siyum on Masechta Nida, you're not going to be able to because you were too busy talking the entire year and schmoozing away with this guy. I said, I'm not a person to give musar. I have my own shortcomings when it comes to learning and the like. I'm just letting you know that if you'll stop the schmoozing, if you'll pay attention and you'll focus and you'll learn, you'll be zeicher to make a beautiful siyum on Nida. He took the words of rebuke in a better way than you could ever imagine. He appreciated that someone was paying attention and saw his greatness inside that he was wasting. And he told this fellow that day, you know what, from now on I can't schmooze in the afternoons. You want to schmooze, we'll find another time to schmooze, but not during our learning. And sure enough, he went on and he learned Bahasmada with diligence the rest of the year. And when he finished Masechta Nida, to his credit, he called me and he said, thank you, and Yasher Kayach. Because of those words of Teichacha that you gave me, I'm zeicher to make a siyum to conclude Masechta, the tractate of Nida. Rabbi Say, we have all such opportunities around us when we do the mitzvahs in the right way. We follow what HaKadosh Baruch Hu says. Not only do we fulfill a mitzvah, but we help other people as well become the greatest Jew that they could become. Have a wonderful day.